And we're ready to try. All right, let's give it a try again today. Yesterday was a flop, and I went through all of the software. I think we're in good shape. Let me go post this link on our website, and everybody coming in, please let me know whether the sound is any good today. Yesterday was an unpleasant situation for everybody. There was no sound, and then the sound was wrong, and so hopefully today. Yesterday after this class, I had a harmonica class. It didn't go well, and then finally ukulele class went just fine. So I think the trouble was in the Logitech software after the update to the Microsoft operating system. So these are all things that we deal with, and keeps us always learning. Let me see. Okay, the link is now up and live and working. And then let's go post this on Twitter. http:// website is denverguitarorchestra.com, and is it time to start tweeting again? I don't know. I'm going to tweet it. I don't know. What can you do? All right, let's see. So today, I'm going to scroll all the way back to Monday, and we're going to go off of the Monday list, and we'll do some editing as we go along. But that's what we'll start with anyway today. Yay, Nancy says the sound is good. Yeah, yesterday was, well, the last 2 days have been a mess, right? Monday I had to miss because I was getting set up for my shot, which comes Saturday. And then yesterday we had all kinds of sound problems due to software updates. So we're hopeful. Today, Elizabeth is noting that she has 30 degrees up there in northern Colorado. I think we're maybe at 1 or 2 degrees warmer than that, but it was cloud, snowy, kind of crummy day outside, and that's okay. Every now and then we gotta have a snowy, cloudy, crummy day, right? Let's grab our Segovia scales to get started. Good morning, Arlo. Glad to see you, buddy. I had a humidifier incident, and so there was some water on the ground over there. And so I had to, sop it all up. And the amplifier that I use, my practice amp, is sitting right in the middle of all that. So I had to move it over, and now it's in the way. So, good morning, Evelyn. We're having a good technology moment here. Hopefully you can hear us just fine. I figured out where I think the problem was. Let's grab your Segovia scales and let's get started. Let's make as pretty scales as we can, and then we're gonna be playing from the Monday list, and then I'm gonna kind of push things along and see if we can get back on track by the end of tomorrow. Okay, so we will make short work of some of the book 2 stuff. But I don't ever want to skip the Segovia patterns. That's my thing I'm working on, and so therefore you guys get to work on it. So let's grab that Segovia pattern. Just measure 1 from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Time from the top. 1, 2, ready, play. Segovia Patterns. That's how we start every day. Probably will forever, right? So I want you guys to be patient with me while I study those. Let's go grab out of book one. Let's grab Frère Jacques. Again, we're going to make short work of everything. If you are newer and you're like, I don't know what he's talking about, send me an email and say, hey, you're going too fast. But I think most of you guys that are logging in here today are book 2 or higher, I think. And so I want to make sure you guys get a chance to play all that stuff. Today, Wednesday or Thursday. Today is Wednesday, but we're playing from Monday, and it feels like Thursday. So yes, we're playing from the Monday list today, yeah. So there's that. All right. If you are book 1, I'm going to make super fast work of this, and if you're book 2 or book 3, obviously you know what you're supposed to do here. Main chord, this is an essential chord in your life. There will be no days when you play guitar that you don't play an A chord. Index finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, middle finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and ring finger on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. So everybody's crammed into the 2nd fret. There we go, just like that. Make sure your thumb is in good position. Not here, not up too far forward, not too far back. Right behind your middle finger. No, we don't see it from this angle. You're best off if you hit strings 5 down. If you hit the 6th string, it's not the end of the world. But 5 down is best. And let's sing the song. Make sure we know it. This same exact song as we've been working on with Brother John, just in a different key. 1, 2, ready, play. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques. Dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, sonnez les matines, ding, ding, dong, ding, ding, dong. Okay, so that's the song. Now, I'm going to play the melody part, and you're going to pluck the chords. So either strum with your thumb, or take these 4 fingers, grab any 4 strings, and just pluck them. And if, of course, if you've been around a while, you're thinking about an arpeggio pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Then we'll do the opposite of that. Well, not quite the opposite. We'll all play the melody together. So with this arrangement, remembering when we're in the key of E, we're all running up and down the neck. When we're in the key of A, everything's nice and compact. So grab your A chord, okay, and then we're going to pluck the melody notes. So the first one's the 2 on the 3rd string, and then open on the 2nd string. So lift your ring finger up, and then put it back down, and then the 3rd string. Do it again. Ring finger up, ring finger back down, middle finger. Okay, ring finger. Add your pinky to get that 3, and then 0 is already open. Doing the same thing, lift your pinky, put it back down, and then the 0. Okay, then you have a 0. And you can use your pinky here or your ring finger to get the 2 on the 1st string. Sometimes I'll use my pinky, but in this case I think it's easier to drop your ring finger down there to hit the 2, and then take it back off. Pinky on 3, and ring finger on 2, and then your 3rd string. Do again. And then it's third string, fourth string. Again. From the top, go. Time you stay on melody. 1, 2, ready, play. 2, oh, 2, 2, 2, oh, 2, 2, 2, 3, oh, 2, 3, oh, oh, 2, oh, 3, 2. That way we're playing a little bit of a duet theoretically. You're playing through the melody, I'm playing through the chords, just as we did the opposite. That's why I think of all of this stuff as ensemble pieces of music. It's really designed for you to get with the second guitar player or 20 other guitar players, and people have different pieces and parts. Very quickly on the Tough Acts, guys, those of you guys who are book 2 or book 3 or book 4. Okay, if you're book 1, I would just listen. This is where you're headed with your guitar life. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see how that gets really big and really beautiful really quickly. And all right, so there's your melody playing, chord playing, duet playing, and chord melody playing. So all of those things are playing all right there on that piece of paper. Pretty cool. All right, next up, let's go take a look at, and we're going to play through a bunch of 3 book 2 songs here super fast. Okay, so Grow, Grab, Skip to My Loo, which is one of my least favorite songs in here. However, the purpose of this is for you to practice the F chord. Remember, with the F chord, it's your E chord. So you start with your E chord. Then you're going to change it out to middle ring and pinky. And then you're going to slide it forward and add a bar at 1. Okay, that's it. That's the only thing, really. This song is not hard to play from a melody standpoint, or even the Tough Act's pretty challenging. But right now, this is the only purpose of us studying this song is to practice F chord for 4 measures, and then you put your C7 on. To C7, and you take your C chord, index, middle, ring, and then you add your pinky on the 3rd string at the 3rd fret. Do that for 4 measures, and then you go back to F for 4 measures, and then C7 for 2 measures, and then F for 2 measures. Now, normally we play it like this, right? Fly in the buttermilk, shoo, fly, shoo. That's what we would normally do, but because it's the F chord and because you're hopefully trying to get it, you're going to need a little bit of time to get it on. You give me 1 strum. Fly the buttermilk. Shoo, fly, shoo. Get your C7 on. Fly in the buttermilk. Shoo, fly, shoo. F chord. Fly in the buttermilk. Shoo, fly, shoo. C7. Skip to my Loo, my dog. Let's do it again. I lost my partner, oh, what'll I do? C7. I lost my partner, oh, what'll I do? I lost my partner, oh, what'll I do? Skip to my Loo, my darling. Again. I'll get another one prettier than you. I'll get another one prettier than you. Is that a rude lyric? I'll get another one prettier than you. Skip to my Loo, my darling. Now, we're going to do the last one. Try to get 4 beats in per measure. We'll go a little bit slower and see if you can get all 4 strums in each measure and still get your C7 on in place. The big places where you probably are not going to get all 4 strums in is when you have to change. So at the end of measure 4, you're probably not going to get all 4 strums in order to get your C7 on. And so be mindful of that. Okay? A little bit slower, last verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. So many verses, but this'll have to do. So many verses, but this'll have to do. I'm not giving you enough strums in there. Go back to your F. Go. So many verses. But this'll have to do. 2, 3, 4. Skip to my Loo, my darling. Okay, so again, I gypped you on some strums there in the middle. But what we're working on is F to C7, F to C7. That is going to come up in your guitar life. It's pretty unpleasant, but it is going to come up. I'm not going to spend a lot of time playing the melody on this one because there's not a ton there. But the purpose of this song is to play F and C7. And just know, it's when you first start, that's one of the hardest things that we have to do on guitar is the F chord. And when you've been playing for a long time, it's still one of the hardest things you have to do on guitar. Let's go grab The More We Get Together. This one's G and D chord, which you guys have seen plenty of, so we're not going to spend any time talking about that overly. Okay. The melody here also very straightforward, 0s, 2s, and 3s. And there is a 1 that sneaks in there over at measure 13, but otherwise it's pretty straightforward. And then, of course, tough X. So I'm going to play it through 3 times. The first time I'm going to play melody. The second time I'm going to play chords, which means you should do the opposite of that. You should play chords the first time, melody the second time, and then the third time I'll jump down and dive into tough acts. And if you're up for that, please join me. Otherwise, you play melody the third time. Okay, so I'll start on melody, you'll start on chords. 1, 2. switch to melody. The 30310 Beautiful. Hopefully that's going well for you. Then let's tackle the tough acts. See how we do. 1, 2. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. 2 beat counted. 1, 2. There we go. So that's how that tune works. Wrote out an arpeggio on there. Again, when I rewrite this book, I will probably take the arpeggio picking out of book 2 entirely, because really what I'm hoping is when you see a 3 pattern, you will just grab your chord, whatever it is, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The more we get to, the more we get together. Oh, that's in. I've got a 6 strum underneath a 3 beat. That's probably going to work. But yeah, so there is an arpeggio line there if you want to mess around with that. All right, next up, today is Wednesday. Let's go play This Old Man and we'll be all caught up out of book 2. Again, I know I'm pressing, going too fast. If you have the actual book, I did put in a circle of fifths in there. For those of you guys that are thinking, hey, someday I want to write a tune or something, you do need that guitar circle of fifths. If you don't have the full book, just send me an email and I'll send you that circle of fifths. It's identical to the one more or less identical to the one I did for ukulele. Shows all your fingering charts in there, and then the only thing I did different was I put the sevenths chords down underneath it. It's a real nice chord chart. I don't just, I don't have it laying around on the internet right now. Probably not gonna. Well, no, I might end up posting that up there. So if you want the guitar circle of fifths, let me know. Send me an email. We'll see how many of you guys decide. Yep, I'd like to have that. Then I may just put it up on the website if we need it there. And if you don't know what the circle fifths is, then hang around because eventually you will. All right, This Old Man. It's book 2 is all 2-chord songs until we get to this one, which is a 3-chord song, but they're all our chords from level 1: A chord, D chord, and E chord. So the chord shouldn't be a problem, and it gives you a chance toward the end of book 2 to have a 3-chord song that you're using. And let's see how you do. Grab your A chord. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This old man, he played one. He played knick-knack on my thumb with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give your dog a bone. This old man came. Now look at here. This is where you got to have your act together. Rolling home. This old man, he played 2. He played knick-knack on my shoe with a tic-tac, paddywhack, give your dog a bone. rolling, roll. Okay, so there's that. That's the whole. I think the main reason I have this song in here at all, one is to get you practicing with 3 chords, but more importantly, that bum bum bum. Right, and that comes up when you can do that. It sounds really cool. Right, and so those will come up. We have plenty of songs in book 3 where you have 1 beat per chord. I'm thinking off the bat of Genie with the Light Brown Hair. There's a place in there where you go way up the neck, or the melody goes way up anyway. I don't know if it goes up the neck or not, but you have 4 chords and four beats, and so it's this song gives you a chance to get used to changing at that speed. The song's pretty fast, 140, and then you have 3 chords and 3 notes there. Bum, bum, bum. And you have to practice that, because your hands won't magically do it without practicing it. Play the melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing difficult in the melody other than making sure you get 2s and 3s and that you're on the right string. But there's only two frets you're going to use and 3 strings. 3 is there? There's no 4th note on there. Yeah. So this can be played on pretty much any 3-stringed instrument. And let's run through the tough acts real quick. Grab your A chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. D chord. Lift your middle finger up. Slide your ring finger back. Go grab your E chord. Pinky on 2 and then 3. Again, 2, 3, A chord. Chord, 4 strings of that, E chord, and then 3 strings. And then that little 2 there at the end, you can hear what it's doing. I'm going to toss you back to the beginning of the song. And let's go to the top and play it together. Ready, go. There we go. So there's this old man. All right, so we managed to get caught up in the book 2 stuff today, and I did make short work of all that. So obviously over the next tomorrow, if you have any questions on the book 2 stuff, please bring those to the class and we can talk about them. Of the 3, the dumbest song in there is Skip to My Loo, and of the 3, the most important song skill set wise is in level 3, or is in Skip to My Loo. Getting your F chord on. When you first start, it sounds like this, right? They sound terrible, but just patience. The more you do them, eventually they come in. I've been fighting them for quite some time in my life, and I'm starting to get where they're fairly reliable. Arlo is here today, and he will tell you that there's nothing probably more important than working on your bar chords, because they become super, super handy down the road, especially if you're playing any type of folk music where they hand out the chord chart and the lyrics and chords, and you're like, oh brother, I don't know how to make I don't know how to make an F sharp. Well, sure you do. It's an E chord. Here's an F. Move it up one more. It's F sharp. And so then you begin to put that stuff together, and your tendency, I think most of the players that I've seen that have been playing guitar a real long time, I think mostly they do favor bar chords. And the other reason to favor a bar chord is that then you're in charge of how long the note lasts. Right? You can make it be short, or you can make it be long. Right? And I'm playing an A chord right now, but if I'm playing this A chord, even if I try to stop it, the strings that I'm not touching will still continue to ring. So it gives you a little bit more control over the sound that you're making. And you will sound terrible in the beginning on bar chords. Okay, a lot of people quit guitar because of bar chords. The better idea is make sure you have your guitar in good posture. Right, mine's dropped down a little bit too low for me. Make sure the forearm here and the hand are one continuous unit. Make sure your thumb is where we're talking about, where it's supposed to be, and then it's hanging out right behind the middle finger. And all of a sudden, you will. I think in the beginning there's a tendency to push up a little bit. You'll see me doing that once in a while. But with bar chords, really, you don't want that. You want this nice straight thing, nice round fingers, as round as you can get them based on your own anatomy. This bar obviously has to be straight. And I notice my thumb is now dropped slightly below the midline of the neck. So in other words, if it's normally right in the middle, I pull it down just a smidge to get my bar on here straight, and then these other guys just drop on. Maybe not a perfect round shape, but mostly. Making sure my elbow's not way out here or tucked in here. Those are the two. Both of those are incorrect. You don't want to be having your arm way out as a chicken wing, and you don't want to have it tucked in like like you're doing one of these. Just keep it nice and keep your elbow basically. Whereas if you dropped your hand, it would just come straight down by the side of your body. And make sure you're not tensing your shoulders up. That makes life harder. And those are my suggestions on F chord. My main suggestion is keep working on it. Be patient. It comes to eventually the day comes when you deserve a pretty F chord, and that will be the day that you have put in enough time where it jumps onto your guitar. There. All right. So now let me think. I'm pretty sure. Well, we're all caught up. We are. All right. So, rest of the class today we'll spend on the rest of the stuff. I think yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, we played through Prelude 9. So, I'd like to pull up Torito right now, if you will. Torito, please. I think we played the first three. I think we played Exercise 13, Moorish Dance, and Prelude number 9. And so, Torito, we pull it up. Let's take a look at that. Remember with Torito, it's just arpeggio patterns, and the major part of this up in measures 1 through 10 is on the lower strings, and it'll be in a major. Then when we get to the second half of the song, in measure 11, we go to a minor, and we move our strings up to the next strings up higher. And there's not a ton in this song. It's just basically straight up arpeggio patterns until the end, when we really want to pay attention to the dynamics. Okay, just pay attention to those. It'll sound beautiful. And throughout the song, we start out quiet, get loud, go quiet again. Quieter, louder, quieter. Quieter, louder, quieter, louder, right? And so on. That's what those carets are underneath the standard notation, and so there we go. Elizabeth says, are you twisted to the left at all in order to see the strings? No. By twisted, I don't think. Let's talk about what we mean by twisted. So when I'm and I'm in good posture, okay, arm is in good posture, hand is in good posture. The fretboard is ever so slightly tipped back so that I can actually get my eyeballs on it. So as I'm looking down here, there's a whole lot of strings there that I have a challenge seeing. I don't necessarily, you'll hear me often when I'm playing, I'll grab the third string when I mean to grab the second string. So I don't have a perfect wide open view of the fretboard, but I'm able to see it basically where the frets are, and I have a pretty good idea where the strings are based on the fact that every time I grab this type of chord, my hands have come to be where they memorize pretty much where they're supposed to, how it's supposed to feel. What I can see here is I can definitely see all of my frets all the way up and down here, no problem. I can see my eyeballs start to get a little wonky, and I'm seeing it's easier to see the top three strings, very challenging to see the lower three strings in terms of what I'm looking at. My neck is absolutely twisted to the side. Okay, that's where my neck's going to be. But my body is remaining straight forward, and so I would say as you are twisting, your neck will twist, but don't have your whole body twist over here. Let me see what happens to that. There are consequences to our actions, right, in guitar. You guys are starting to figure that out, right? So if I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the audience and playing a F sharp chord, that's what it's going to be like. But if I'm have a piece memorized and I'm presenting it, I am absolutely going to have my eyes over here. Looks to me like I'm twisting my neck, maybe pulling my head slightly forward to see what's going on down there. Trying to be mindful not to get this out here. And my spine is definitely still setting up straight. So the tension you'll probably be feeling is in your neck. If you are tensing in your lower back, probably something's not exactly the way we want it. If I'm going into my lower back, what's happening is that now my chest is going to be pushing out on the guitar, right? Which means my guitar, I'm going to be fighting bringing it back. And it makes it where the guitar is too far out. So I'm working against myself. If I'm twisting my body, I'm going to be pushing the guitar away from it. And then it's going to make it harder to see here. So then I'm going to have to lean further forward to see what's going on. If I keep a nice steady spine and not be playing, not be twisting this, then I've only got to adjust my neck just a smidge to be able to see what's going on there. I think it's easy to talk about, but the big takeaway from that is after you play for a little while is something feels sore. And if it is, the only places that you should feel soreness when you're playing guitar, theoretically, is your hand, obviously, your ends of your fingers, obviously, your hand. Every time I play, my hand is tired, every time. And that's it. Yeah, so you shouldn't be feeling a ton of tension here. You should probably not be feeling much in the back. If you are not accustomed to sitting for long rehearsals, you might get fatigued, and that's something you have to build up with over time. But I think when you're done playing, sit and listen to your body a little bit. Are you feeling lower back fatigue? Is that because you've been just sitting a little too long, or is it because you're twisting? You want to do some self-analysis there. But yeah, Elizabeth, I would say really try not to be twisting your lower back. Your neck, yes, but your lower back, no. And Arlo adds, Gary is correct about the criticality of bar chords. Working out the E shapes, the A shapes allow you to get any chord you will likely ever need. Learn the notes on the 5th and 6th strings. So yeah, what Arlo is going back to is, hey, here are your notes on the 5th string, or on the 6th string. E, F sharp, G. Well then, now all of a sudden you know, here's your E chord, F sharp, and G. Okay. And same thing with A. Here's your A chord, and you got your A string there. So then, if I go to a bar shape where I just put my index finger down here, or you can put your full L bar on. Okay. You're in A sharp, B, and so on. So yeah, I definitely learned that lesson from Arlo. Is hey, these bar chords, you gotta accept that they're going to be hard. You got to commit to doing them, and I think overall you'll end up with a lot more options down the road in terms of what you can do. Those notes are roots for chords using no shape. So that's exactly what we just talked about. All right, hopefully that discussion was helpful. Let's play Torito, and well, I guess this will be it. Gosh, look at the time. All right, grab your A chord. Remember, we're talking about probably using thumb, index, middle, index on these because you don't have any bass notes in here. Okay, A chord, 1, 2. Slide up to the 3rd fret. Back to the 2nd fret. Let it get a little quieter. G chord, just take everybody off. Put everybody back on. Build your volume. Now go grab that 1. Threes. To the 2s, quieter. Second, and now go grab your A minor and grab thumb on the 5th string. Go. Whoops, I'm on an E chord. A minor, thumb on the 5th string. Go. Slide it up a little louder. Slide it back. A little quieter. All opens. C chord, thumb. Go grab your B minor. A minor. Quiet. E chord, E string. Opens. And then A chord. Let it ring. Isn't that cool? Such a, the rest of the song, it's fine, but that ending, bum, 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 blum, right, sounds really cool. Let's play it one more time. And I would say probably at major 17, I started to have some doubts. Should I put on a full C chord? I don't want to because I'm still playing that A note on the bass. So I'm not going to put on a full C chord. If I'm not going to put on the full C chord, I'm not going to put on any part of the C chord. I'm just going to grab that 1, and that's the one place where my ring finger, I'm going to use that because now I'm having to a 4-string spread. I have a 0 and then the 0 on the 3rd string and a 1 on that 2nd string. So that's where I'm going to use my ring finger. Otherwise, the entire thing is plucked with these two guys, with thumb, index, and middle. Okay, from the top, one more time, and then we'll call it a day. 1, 2, or sorry, let me slow it down. 1, 2. Louder. Quieter. Zeros. To A. Slide opens. A minor. A little louder. Slide up. Pretty loud. Grab the 1. B minor. Go, and that's Torito. That one's super technical. To get that one right, I think requires a lot of focus, and the whole thing, thumb, index, middle, except for measure 17, where you got to sneak in your ring finger, and my brain let too many things go. The other thing, pay attention to, like measure 14, where you have all those zeros. You pull your A minor off, play the G, and then put it right back on, right? So don't just abandon your left hand when you play zeros. Just have that chord shape just hang out right above it so you can get it right back on in time. There, that's Torito. That should feel very Spanish to you. But it's written by Zenemon, which doesn't sound Spanish at all, but who knows. All right, that's what I know. You guys have a wonderful day. I will see some of you later today in harmonica or ukulele or whatever. We did a pretty good job of getting caught up today. Tomorrow we'll start with any questions you might have out of book 2 stuff from today that we rushed through, and then we'll start on lesson 61 tomorrow. Lesson 61 is definitely the hardest of all of them to play, I think, and so we want to try to give that a fair shot tomorrow. And then on, remember, Thursday night we have our Beatles extravaganza, and you have 3 new tunes there. So if you haven't got those yet, send me an email with the tunes on there. Arlo, can't remember if I sent them to you or not. So please send me an email if I did not. And then so we're up to, I don't know, a dozen Beatles songs for Thursday night. And then on Friday, of course, we'll play through this entire week's worth of music. And it'll be quite a concert on Friday. And I'm hoping to have by Friday to where I'm feeling comfortable enough to record some of these things on the video tape so that I can just send it into the university, and we will be, and you guys will not mess with it. Well, no, we're always going to be messing with some of the stuff that I'm doing. But we can then start looking at starting to mix in some book 3 stuff again. So hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. I will talk to you soon, and ta-da, off we go.